What's the story that really inspired this whole concept of go now? About a gentleman who originally was from Calgary, Alberta, here in Canada, and he was Olympian. And as an Olympic competitor, he had trained for many, many, many years in swimming. And his goal or his objective was to win a gold medal. So that was the goal that he set for himself. This gentleman has the name of Mark Tewksbury. And I've heard Mark speak before. I met him way back in, I think it was the 90s. It was a long, long time ago now. But he told a story of how when he went to the Olympics in 1988, which I believe was in Seoul, Korea at the time, that he competed in a number of different events. So one of them was the relay event. Another one was just the 100-meter backstroke that he competed in. And he had won a couple of medals at that Olympics. And he returned home, and many people were congratulating him on his winnings. And he had won, I believe, a bronze medal and a silver medal at that time. But his goal was to win a gold. And so when he returned from the Olympics, many people were congratulating him on his achievements, which were quite significant. But in his mind, that's not what he went to the Olympics to do. He went to the Olympics to win a gold medal. So he told everyone, I'm going back in 4 years. The Olympics would be held 4 years later. So he trained even harder and harder and prepared. And 4 years later, off he went to Barcelona, Spain to compete in the Olympics. But when he got there, he was not one of the favored swimmers to win the gold in the 100-meter backstroke. There were other swimmers that the experts had forecasted were more likely to win the gold medal. But that didn't stop him. He didn't allow that to stop him. So he was preparing himself physically and mentally. And so the day before his competition, he actually got to the pool and no one was there. It was closed and no one was supposed to be there, but he managed to get someone to let him in so he could go to where the pool was and visualize, like really see himself accomplishing the goal that he had set for himself and why he went back to the Barcelona Olympics 4 years later. And so he got into where the pool was, and there wasn't water yet in the pool, but he stood at one of the lanes and he just started to imagine, using his mental faculty, his imagination. And he stood at the lane with his back to the pool, just imagining and looking up in the stands and seeing where all the fans would be. And so he stood there and imagined that the gun went off and dove into the pool. And he just imagined himself swimming, touching the wall at the other end, turning around, coming back, swimming, touching the wall where he would finish, and then coming out of the pool and imagining standing there looking at the winner's board and seeing his name in the top spot. So he did that. He practiced that. He really imagined it and emotionalized it. It expected it was going to happen. So the next day he comes back to the pool and he went out to where they all wind them up at the lane. And of course there's water in the pool now. And he stood there and ready to go, arms up, and then boom, off goes the gun and he starts swimming. He's competing for the gold medal. And while he's competing, he notices out of his left eye that he could see an ankle. Well, if you're seeing an ankle, that means somebody is ahead of you, right? Like just imagine there's an ankle at the right, adjacent to your face. So he thought, okay, I gotta really push hard. So he decided, I'm going to go now. And with every stroke in his mind, he was saying, go now. And he pushed harder. And then he would say it again, go now, and push harder. And then go now and push harder. And then that ankle that was right there became an elbow. So he could see, okay, I'm gaining speed. Now this is happening really quickly, right? But with every stroke, he just said to himself, go now, go now, go now, go now, go now, and pushed himself harder than he ever pushed. Touched the wall, came out of the pool and looked up, and he saw his name, Mark Tewksbury, gold. And then he saw the Canadian fans and he saw the Canadian flags and just what he had visualized the day before, he was experiencing. So I think about that story often, and I think about you often, and I think about how important it is go now.
We decided to put together this very special offer because for many, many years, I have been getting business idea after business idea after business idea. And as you probably know, for many decades, I've been online, marketing online, had a business online. And I've been helping people establish businesses online or grow their business online. And so I have been registering domain names now for well over 20 years. And every time I come up with a domain name idea, there's a business behind it. There's a business idea. That's why I was inspired to register these domain names. And many of these domain names are absolutely brilliant ideas that anyone could actually take and run with. And so I decided to make some of them available for you. And you're going to see them on this page. You can buy the domain name, which I will describe what the business idea is in a short video once you purchase it. But you can also invest in the domain name and our program $1 Million in a Month, which essentially walks you through the steps to create, establish a business online, grow a business online, and have it be successful. So everything is included in that. Now, some of these domain names that we are offering for you are worth thousands, some of them tens of thousands of dollars. And we're gonna make them available for a ridiculous price. I actually talked to my mentor, and he suggested that I should sell them for 10 or 20 times the price of what I'm selling them for, because I know they're worth that. And so these are a first come, first served basis. Obviously, it's a domain name, so there's only one of each available. Therefore, if when you look at this list, you see a domain name that is currently available and you're attracted to it, grab it. Grab it before someone else takes it, because these are all ideas that I've personally come up with. They're all my personal domain names. So take a look what's available. We've created 3 different packages. There's one where you can buy the domain name, and we'll give you a sample of a revenue model that you could use with it. And I'll do a little brief explanation of what that domain name could be used for, but what you do with it is totally up to you. That's the first package, very simple. Then there's a second package, and that is where we're bundling the domain name. So yes, you get the domain name, we'll transfer it to you, and it goes with our $1 Million in a Month program. And that is a very special offer. And then there's a third one where you can get the domain name, the idea behind it, the program $1 Million in a Month. Also, you'll get guidance, private mentoring from me and my business partner, Trace Haskins, who is the brains behind all the marketing in the business. And so those are the 3 offers that we have. Obviously, we're very limited to the number of people that we can work with privately, so there's just a few spots for that. But there's only one domain name, but you can take a look. See if there's anything here that really appeals to you, something that just sort of grabs you intuitively perhaps. So once you register the domain name, then we'll go into the next step. The next step is that once I see that you've registered the domain name, I'm going to record a short video for you. Then we'll point you to the revenue model that would work for you. And if you are someone that has registered for the domain name with the program and the private mentoring, we'll follow up with you as well. But either way, once you invest in it, just watch for further emails. We'll get back to you within about 48 hours if it's during the week, and if it's not, we'll get back to you on the Monday if you're investing in this on the weekend. And then we'll give you a little more guidance on how you can take this idea and follow through. So take a look at the page. Make sure you understand what you're investing in. Okay, the first level of offer is really the domain name with a short explanation of a video and a sample revenue model. The next offer is the domain name and the program $1 Million in a Month, and that's where you're going to take that domain name and you're going to do something amazing with it. And then the third one is the domain name, the program, and some private mentoring. Simple, right? Just make sure you understand what you're investing in here. Take a look. First come, first serve, and I look forward to connecting with you and seeing you bring a brilliant idea to the marketplace in only wonderful and valuable ways that's going to serve people in the world. All right, I'll see you on the inside.